Hi guys. Thank you for tuning in to our Monday, April 20th lesson. This lesson is going to involve us diving deeper into our understanding of RL 5.2 and RI 5.2, main idea versus theme. So today what we're going to do is look at how we can be 100% sure of theme versus main idea. Hopefully you watched our video of part one, which I just did an introductory of our week's lesson. I showed you how to get on Canvas. I showed you how to pull up our calendar. Please make sure you watch that video first before you watch this one, because this one is jumping right into the lesson, and the first one shows you how to get the lesson. Um, I'm so excited that we're going to be reading our novel on Hatchet. I've already uploaded the PDF version. I've already uploaded the audio version, as well as some of the questions that you're going to embark upon. So please, 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 please make sure that you follow along and go through those, go through the actual um, each part before you get here. Now, if you want a book, that means a hardcover, I will be on campus on Monday and Wednesday of this week. So you can ask your parents to stop by and pick up a copy of Hatchet if you would like. But you don't you definitely, I mean, if you're liking me, I like a paper copy. I like to read it and hold it and all of that. But I also uploaded the audio version as well as the PDF version. So you do not need to have the book, but if you want it, I'll be there. Feel free to come get it. So let's go ahead and jump into our lesson today. Remember, you're either pulling up this calendar here, which is located in Google Classroom with all of the links. All you have to do is click on there. Please make sure that you have already did your weekly check-in before you start and your due now, because I'm going to go over your due now on Tuesday. So please make sure that it is done. You're now on your live video, your lesson here, and you go through each one. You'll be able to click on there and you'll be able to see me, as well as if you do go the Canvas route, which is a little bit easier and everything is right there. You'll just click into welcome. But again, please know Canvas or Google Classroom for right now. But we have one more whole month of digital learning. So I do encourage you all to transition over to Canvas. You'll be able to message me immediately. You'll be able to, it's just preparing you for middle school. So it's Canvas is really preparing you for middle school and beyond. So you click on welcome here, and if you look, it takes you directly to what you have to do daily. So your do now is there as well as here, either way. Um, you're here now on your main idea theme lesson. So let's go ahead and jump into our main idea and theme lesson here. So on the week of the 8th, we talked about theme, and we explained why we should know theme, and we explained why theme and main ideal is important. You're going to have a cluster of questions that's either going to ask you, just like I've been exposing you to for the past 2 weeks, it's going to ask you, what is the main idea? What is the theme of this lesson? What evidence supports the theme? What evidence supports the main idea? That's 4 questions, you all. Those are 4 questions that you can get correct just by doing what I'm explaining how, or explaining and showing you what to do. So our overarching learning goal, I can determine the theme of a story by analyzing the characters, traits, plots, events, and subjects of a story. We learned that the theme is a lesson or message that the author wants the characters or the reader to learn. The theme or moral is the most important idea the reader gets from a story. It may give you a short lesson about life. It tells how the author feels about life or human nature. The author may repeat the idea more than one time. Remember, a pattern. Sometimes the author does not tell you what the theme is. You may have to figure it out from the text. All right, we're almost middle schoolers. And if you know from fifth grade, we don't tell you the theme. You have to figure it out by using evidence from the text. Look at your subject. What is being repeated? What does the author state over and over again to help us formulate an idea? Main idea. In this case, because we're fifth graders, we know main ideas is the purpose or point of the entire paragraph, section, article, or story. The main idea comes from the characters and the plot of the story. It contrasts the theme involves in contrast, the theme involves a lesson or concept learned as a result of the story. It can also be applied not only to the story but to many other stories as well. Think of the theme as the moral or of the story. So you ask yourself, the main idea is directly from the text. It's going to mention the characters and what they learned or what they did. The theme, you can take that message and you can apply it to life. You can take that message and you can apply it to other things. It's not going to mention the characters and it's not going to mention the plot. So think of the theme as a lesson your dear old granny might say. A lesson your dear old granny might say, and the main idea is what the whole thing or story is about. For example, the theme may be you should always do what your mom and dad tell you to do. The main idea might be the story was about a girl who thought her parents were clueless when it came to preparing for the new school year. So, theme, I can say, I can give you another example. If my mom says, don't eat all those pickles, you're going to get sick. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm going to eat this whole jar of pickles because they're delicious. I eat the whole jar and then I get sick. Well, guess what? The story is going to be about how Miss Witherspoon ate the whole jar of pickles and got sick. The lesson that I learned, whoo, I should have listened to what my mother said. So when we're talking about subject, topic, theme, jealousy, bravery, friendship, those are all topics that's going to lead you to your theme. Main idea is specifically about what it is that I've read. So, jealousy, Amanda always wanted the same thing Mary had. Bravery, even though Ethan was afraid of heights, he still went to the top of the rope course. And friendship, Jack and Jill were total opposite, but they both were excellent kids. Now, I'm taking my topic here, jealousy, bravery, and friendship, and I'm going to identify my theme. Be happy with what you have. Bravery, no matter what, you still can achieve your dreams. Friendship, friendship can be found in strange places. So remember, it's not a one word topic, that's a topic. I use my topic to help me figure out the theme of the story. Now, let's apply it. Remember, this is quick. This is 8 minutes, a quick lesson. Now, this is where you come in. If you go to, again, your calendar, which says main idea, theme, task cards, or if you go to Canvas where it says theme versus main idea task cards, either one, you're going to pull up your very own copy that looks like this. When you do it, stop, go ahead and rename. It's going to say make a copy. It's going to force you to make a copy and put your name there. Please put your name there so when you share it back with me, I can grade and give you your individual score. How do you submit it back? I'm so glad you asked. If you're in Canvas, and I'm going to show you really quickly because this is cool. If you're here, I'm going to actually show you what you will see. I'm looking at this through your lens. So if you click here, and if I click on theme versus main idea task cards, I click here. And after I've pulled it up, it's going to say submit assignment. Bam, I can submit here. And guess what I can do? I can choose it and upload it and submit it. It's going to come directly to me. I'm going to be able to give you a grade. Remember, school is not out. We're not in the building, but we're still learning. And please know, you know me, we take this very seriously. So That's how you'll see it. I love that I can do that. As well as if you are in here, you can submit it like you normally do in Google Classroom. If you notice, love it. Um, Jair, I don't see an attachment. He said submit, but I don't see anything submitted, nor do I see anything submitted from Zoe, but I do see Catherine's. And if you see how Catherine, she submitted her tack paper, and I've already graded it, so I see her tack paper here. Even our discussions, because she talks to me and I talk to her back. She talks here, I still gave her her grade, I returned it, bam, it's done. So those are two ways you can send it to me. Don't share it with me, please, because that is almost 100 people that I have to grade. So it's easier if you do it those two ways. Bam, I can get it, give it to you back, and you know exactly what you have, and you don't have to worry. Now, with that being said, let's do some we do. I'm going to model two, and then you'll do the rest. So it says here, we're going to use the red circle to identify the theme and then use the blue circle to identify the main idea. Here are your circles here. And so I can do two things. I can hit the plus sign to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Or, when you're doing it, you can make it as big as you need it to. So it says, David peered down the steep embankment. His ball sat at the bottom of the cliff, and he knew the only way he was going to get it back was by finding a way down. If it had been any other ball, he would have left it to be swept up by the rising water. But it was the soccer ball that had been signed by David Beckham himself. There was no way he was going to leave it behind. David's heart pounded and his palms were sweaty. He began to edge his foot toward the side of the drop off. But as soon as he started to go down the hill, he pulled his foot back up, terrified of going any further. With a deep breath, David took a leap and tumbled down the hill. When he hit the ground, he couldn't believe he had actually made the jump. Beaming with pride, he gathered his ball and began the steep climb back up. So, just from this quick mini lesson, Ms. Witherspoon, you said the main idea is directly about the text. Yes, it is. I did say that, and I'm serious. It is. So, and then the theme is what the character learns. So have the courage to do what you need to do. Well, if I'm using my evidence from the text, I've learned that he did have courage. He didn't know he was afraid, because in the text it says here, there was no way he was going to leave it behind. It says he started to go down the hill. He pulled his foot back up, terrified of going any further. So that means here he was afraid. But my evidence says with a deep breath, he took the leap. So red is the thing. So I'm going to say, have the courage to do what you need to do. And now I'm looking for my main idea. What is the text mostly about? David lost his ball and needed to get down the hill to retrieve it, which is true. That's exactly what happened. But of course, we know from TAC, we don't just give up. David's heart pounded and he was nervous about going down. Oh, C is evidence that supports my theme. So B is my answer. So what you saw me do was I identified my theme and my main idea. So let's try one more and then I'm going to let you do this independently. So it says use the red circle to answer the theme and the blue to identify the main idea. Just wanted to make sure that I got my circles correct. So Jane's cousin smirked and said, it's not a lie if you don't tell. It's not a lie if you don't tell. Turning away, she sneakily slipped the Snicker bar into her coat pocket. Jane felt her face turn red as her heart pounded with fear. She had never thought of stealing, much less been a witness to such a crime. Wyona skipped off, whistling as she waved goodbye to the gas station clerk. Jane ran quickly to catch up, but then stopped suddenly in front of the clerk. She slowly walked over to the employee, explained that her cousin must have forgotten to pay, and insisted on paying for the candy bar. It was Jane's last dollar, but she proudly handed it over to the clerk. She felt good about what she had done and looked forward to sharing the candy bar with Iona. After splitting the Snicker bar, Iona said, "See, it's not a lie if you don't tell." Jane replied with a smile, "But you told me." Love it, love it, love it. So, thing. What can we apply to from this story to life? Jane's cousin stole a candy bar. I can stop right there because it mentioned the character's name. I learned that the theme is something that I can apply to life, not about Jane. Honesty is the best practice. So that means that if something happened, telling the truth will get me further. I like that. Jane paid for the candy bar. I can stop right there because again, it's talking about the character in the story. So red, I'm going to go with B, and then yeah, and then A is my main idea. So it's not hard. So what you're going to do, scholars, is just like I explained. Finish slides 3 through 9, identifying theme, which is red, main idea, which is blue. Once you have finished that, please submit it because I'm going to use that for our lesson on our live lesson on Tuesday. Two things after you finish that one and you submit it, then you have an exit ticket to do, which is really quick. I think it might be 2 or 3 questions. And then you could spend the remainder of the time, because remember, for literacy, it's just an hour. You're going to finish or you're going to start with chapter 1 because I can't wait to the discussion because I'm also going to do a discussion question on tomorrow. So you'll pick up our book, chapter 1, Hatchet, and you will read or listen to chapter 1, which is so awesome. Especially, I can't wait to talk to you about the guy who was farting all in the airplane and all of those wonderful things. So you will finish that. We'll talk about it on tomorrow. Please, again, make sure you've um, looked at the first video, which I give you an overview of all of this, how to get on Canvas, how to use your assignments, all of those wonderful things, because this lesson just takes you directly into it. And I have one more surprise for you before we go. We're at the 17 mark, so this video is really going to be 18 minutes. I've been grading, going over your assignment or your work from last week. I was on spring break too. And again, I just want to thank you again for all those kind words that you sent me. As I'm mourning the loss of my mom, I look at those daily. They make me smile. So thank you so much. I checked the wrong move for Rufus and the other ones that I'm going over. Um, and I think I told you on the on your work that you only have to submit it one time. Normally I lock it so you only submit it one time. 52 of you actually did it, so I was over the moon with that one. I even wrote all of your names down here, and I'm going to do that each time. That's how I'll give you a grade because it is for a grade, you all. Um, so you read about Rufus' wrong move and how Rufus was a dog and how he was kind of starving, didn't have a lot of food. Then Nick, or a bakery owner, helped him, gave him food, and he was eating the food. He was enjoying it. He got a free meal every day. But then he got greedy, and as some of us do, he wanted more, and he actually stole. So I literally asked you 3 questions, 4 questions about what is the thing, the events, how does the character change from the beginning to the end, and what is the importance of saying thank you. And some of you did such an awesome job. You can check it now. I've already graded. I've already submitted it back to you. Um, and just a couple of things I want to go over with you. And I am going to pick up some of you submitted it like 5 times. Nakari's, I like how he answered his. He said, be grateful for what you have. That's an excellent thing. Some people said, don't be greedy. That's an excellent thing. Then it says, what events from the story led you to believe that the theme or message What events from the story led you to believe that this is the theme or message? And I wrote, remember, some of you, I actually wrote back on yours. That's what takes a while. I actually give you feedback. So you have to tell me the events. You have to explain what happened. Like Nakara, he said Rufus was getting bread all the time from Nick, but Rufus wanted sandwiches, but Nick said no. So Rufus decided to steal them. But he got caught by Nick, and the next day he did not get the bread he had hoped for. I want you to see how this scholar actually went back and gave me specific evidence. So if I ask you what events, you have to tell me. I think Legacy told me, she said in paragraph 9. So she actually explained where I can find my information. So you have to be able to go back and tell me what evidence supports it. Um, how does Nick help Rufus in the beginning? Why does Nick stop? I mean, those are just recall what Nick did, gave him bread every day, and then why he stopped because Rufus stole from him. And then I just asked you, what is the importance of saying thank you or thanking someone who has done something for you? How does this story help you and help you understand the importance? Combine your thinking with details from the story to support your answer. And I think it was Nasir that read. He said, from my experience, I think Octavia said it too. From my background knowledge, as well as Roderick, because I read his too. They actually showed me. Look, I'm combining what I know plus what the text says, and then saying thank you shows how some you appreciate what other people did, and a lot of you put that. So awesome job there. And so I'll go over tomorrow your next one or your previous one that you did. So please make sure some of you are just putting anything down and you know that we're going to check it, you all. I literally just checked 52 papers. And we have 100 and something. So I mean, I have 50 something people who didn't even do it. But it's your grade. So to honor those scholars who did do what they're supposed to do, I've put your name on a wheel. And what I'm going to do is, after I've added, because last week or the week before was only 3 passages, so I'm going to cross reference every time I write your name down. I add another name to your wheel, and then on Fridays I'm going to do a big spinner where those students who have completed their work is added here, and those students who have me directly, that you get a sticky note. Well, that has not changed, so I'm going to spin 3 times. Well, I'm going to do 4. I'm going to do 2 with this one and 2 with the other one, and I'm going to you'll message me and you'll tell me what you want, from a bag of Takis up to you'll write down what you want on there, and I'll do 3 things. You can pick it up from the school, I can mail it to you, or I'll bring it by your house, just to thank you that we're in this together. This is a new normal for us, but school is still going on, and we're at 23 minutes of this lesson, so we can all do that. We can do it and make sure it's there. So without further ado, I am going to spin a spinner, and I'm going to count maybe 5, and then I have to click it to stop. And now, as it's spinning, I put your name down if you did the work correctly. Some of you just put anything down, or I didn't put your name there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Dariana, congratulations. So Dariana, you'll message me and tell me what you want. Dariana has really have gone above and beyond. I mean, Dariana, I'm so proud of you. Let's try another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Samir actually submitted this like 4 times. But good job, Samir. So I have 2 from there, and then I'm going to go to the next one. Because I had about 40-ish names. So here, let's see, giving me 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm gonna have to stop it over here. De'Ara, good job, De'Ara. So you'll message me and tell me what you want. Let me find your name, De'Ara. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lyric. Lyric, good job, Lyric. Um, You'll message me, tell me what you want, and I'll make sure that you all get it. Again, awesome job. I'll just keep adding your name to the spinner. And just like in my homeroom, so if you have it 5 times, I write your name 5 times. So, this, of course, the spinners will get bigger, which they're supposed to, because that means you're doing what you're supposed to do. And then I will select it. So, again, if you have any questions for me, message me on the I'm actually going to change it a little bit more, but on the weekly check-in, I changed it just a little bit. You're going to actually give me your number because some of you put that you wanted to check in. You really had a question for me, so please write down your phone number there. um, I'll probably have to add address too so I can send you your stuff for those who worked. um, And then I'm going to ask you about technology. So I'm going to update this just a little bit so that I can see if you're having any technology problems because a few of you still saying that you're having technology problems. All right, I enjoyed this lesson with you all. I look forward to seeing you live on Tuesday. The code will be there just like it always is. And happy reading.